Family betrayal doesn't hit like a slap. It's quieter, slower, like water wearing down stone until nothing is solid anymore. It started with missing gold. My parents didn't keep much in banks, just enough for bills. The rest they kept hidden in the house. A safety deposit box under their bed, one of those steel ones with a dial lock. My father's life savings, converted into small gold bars and coins. Something he started decades ago when he lost trust in banks. It wasn't a fortune, about $20,000 worth, but it was theirs, his pride, my mother's emergency cushion. One day, it was gone. The box had been emptied. No break-in, no sign of forced entry, just vanished. I was the only one home that weekend. At least, that's what my sister told them. I remember standing there in the kitchen, my parents sitting across from me like I was a stranger. She was the only one with the code, my sister said. Ask her. I said nothing at first, thinking they'd never believe her, but they did. And that silence that betrayal brings, it stayed with me for years, until the truth clawed its way out. But by then, forgiveness wasn't part of the story. The worst part wasn't even the accusation. It was the hesitation in my parents' eyes, that flicker of doubt, the pause before they asked me, "Is there anything you want to tell us?" I was 23 at the time, still living at home while I paid off school, working nights at a grocery store, trying to get ahead. I hadn't touched the safe, never even cared about what was inside. But my sister Erica, she had always known how to twist things. She'd moved out a year earlier, but still had her old bedroom key. She was charming, clever, the kind of person who could smile through a lie so smoothly you'd thank her for it. She cried when she told them. I didn't want to believe it either, she whispered. I didn't have proof. No cameras, no witnesses. Nothing to clear me but the fact I knew I hadn't done it. But logic doesn't win against tears. My father didn't yell. He just stopped speaking to me. My mother became distant, cold. They didn't kick me out, but they didn't look me in the eyes for months. Erica stopped visiting after that. No explanation, no remorse, just vanished from the family dynamic, as if her job was done and she didn't want to be around for the aftershocks. I stayed, paid rent, kept to myself, tried to patch things over with small talk and overcooked dinners. It didn't work. The accusation rotted everything. On holidays, my mother would offer me food last. My father left the room when I entered. One night, I overheard him say to her, "She used to be so trustworthy." That broke me more than yelling ever could. Years passed. I moved out eventually, but the wedge stayed. Calls were fewer. Birthdays became short texts. They never apologized, never brought it up again. Like we'd all agreed to pretend the worst thing that ever happened between us didn't exist. Until one afternoon, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was Erica's ex. They'd broken up badly. He sounded nervous. Said he needed to get something off his chest. She told me she took the gold, he said. Said your parents were too easy to fool and you were too proud to beg for the truth. My stomach turned. He didn't want anything. Just guilt, maybe. But he gave me a name. Someone Erica sold it to. A guy who ran a jewelry exchange 2 towns over. Kept no questions asked. I drove there the next day. I didn't expect to find anything. But I showed the man Erica's photo anyway. He blinked. Yeah, I remember her. Came in with a small bag, real hush-hush. I don't usually do multiple buys from the same seller that fast. Got skittish. He pulled out a binder. Receipts. Dated 3 years ago. About $19,700 in gold bought over 2 weeks. Name on the form? Mine. But the signature? Not mine. He'd kept copies for legal reasons. Erica had signed using my name. I asked if I could take a photo of the pages. He hesitated, then said, I never liked how she smiled when she left. Take what you need. When I got home, I put the papers on my kitchen table, stared at them for a long time. They were my freedom, my proof, and somehow, I didn't feel lighter, just tired. I didn't call Erica. I called my parents, asked them to come over. When they walked in, I didn't say anything, just handed them the binder. My father's hands shook as he flipped through it. My mother didn't speak, not until she reached the last page. She signed your name, she whispered. I nodded. No rage, no drama, just the quiet sound of truth arriving too late. I didn't do it, I said softly, and you believed her anyway. They didn't try to deny it, didn't cry, didn't beg, just sat there in silence as the weight of what they'd done finally landed. They called a few days later, asked if we could talk again, said they were sorry, that they were blinded, that they wanted to make it right. But some things don't rewind. Some fractures go too deep. I told them I needed space. They said they understood. But I don't think they really did. Erica never reached out. No apology, no message. Not even when the truth came out. I don't know if she ever will. But I've stopped waiting. Some people bury guilt too deep to dig up. Some people carry it like a trophy. The truth came out. The damage stayed. People always ask if I forgave them. My parents, my sister. I didn't. Not because I enjoy the bitterness, not because I want to hold on to anger, but because trust, once shattered, doesn't glue back together clean. You don't get to burn someone and then ask why the heat still lingers. They believed the liar. They turned their backs on the one who stayed. And now, they live with that choice, just like I live with the silence. Because some things, like gold, once stolen, don't return the same.